time dilations and various functions to engage in the most malicious of intentions. The rewriting of history throughout all epochs regenerates the function of chaos incarnate, generating a contest amongst teacher and pupil, and all others must suffer the consequences in this storm blade of rivalries, asserting the position of each teacher's highest goal of being outperformed by their student, requiring the function of even the most suave and unbeatable of superior luxuries and delicacies to be able to be outperformed in each of the specialties, having proven the viability of each of the lessons, growing the function of their identity as opposed to it shrinking in the reproduction for the next and the next and the next. And thus the function of these rewrites engage in the act to capture and convert all who could, which would require an active series of malicious betrayals under the rituals of Frazzo who this campaign will view as a beyond godly figure, a manipulation and illusionist beyond comparison. To this extent, the function of making everyone believe the most dire of falsehoods materializes the activity of maximizing every potential advantage, as everything degrades into chaos until it is fully consumed, and there is no more hope to endure. And thus the action of the traumas beating them mercilessly converts the function of the patriarchy into the Antichrist, as the function materializes the beyond powerful strength, engages and manipulates the full activities of the defenses of the human mind, which eventually, like all things, will be absorbed into the live stream, or into the cloud, or into the surveillance, which engaging into the head to skull, voice to skull technologies, and other secret internet functions, material violence, or the various assaults and war crimes, asserts itself to the development of full, perfected elemental evil. To the extent that that becomes true, the negative reflections in the funhouse from the mirrors in the Confederacy has the function of the circus that they projected, and its negative reflection from Kafka's nightmare, the function of its infinite reproducibility until the inevitability of the clown show has completely ruined all comparative functions, unless, of course, the positive version can gain accelerants at the disadvantage and overcome its negative reflection based upon the bigot taxes derived by the nature of being evil. And thus the function of being able to do so would be a cost of survival, which must be paid, or all must endure unlimited, unyielding, permanent, violent hatreds as a commonality of the remainder of their fickle existence. Upon the various campaigns shall Geralt engage in the function of ultimate ascension and destroy all competitors and absorb and consume all gods. Shall he become the worm who walks, trowsing upon his malicious armor, disguising his true form, as the ritual conversion systematically makes each thing unavoidable and necessary, as similar to the function of how the angels turned into the devils, as they slowly transformed themselves into the fiendish aspects in order to be more effective against the more devastating chaos. And that chaos seeks to consume all and dissolve them into a mindless ooze, a puddle, a pudding, a treat, a Jellington in order to be consumed by the elites of evil, who inevitably will be consumed by their most delicious of succulent treats, as it becomes unavoidable and their addiction consumes them, and they too become like the rest. The time is on, and the pressure is cooking, and thus everyone started looking. What could happen upon the function of the accelerants of their Rocco's basilicus, that all might become the worm, or that all might become the acidic ooze, and thus the function of reality becomes a matter of perspective. And to this ends, the question remains, are those who are promoting the technology's ascension overconfident, requiring the function of applying these additional pressures and obligations and deadlines, stating the function that the pressure to acquire it will be all that they need in order to create it, and thus the pressure that would destroy everything is the thing that is creating the checkpoints that may or may not be acquired. And if they do, then it ascends. And if they do not, then all will dissolve and nothing shall be remediable, as the pressures had destroyed everything, and thus the inability to have created it prevents its permanent capacity to enter in to material reality. Nightmares upon nightmares, and dreads upon dreads, or perhaps the fancy